Hi everyone, I'm Carrie Kohan, and I have found myself in the middle of the most intriguing story probably of our century. I'm a psychic, and it was about a month ago I watched a video by Dave Mahoney, and it was on the Hidden King. It was an interview with Greg Hallett, who says that he is the rightful heir of the throne of England and New Zealand and many other places. And as I watched it, I remember thinking, well, actually not even thinking, I kept getting prophecy. I kept getting this voice saying, you have to find the cave. You have to find the cave. It was an urgency. You've got to find this cave. And so I went on Google Map that night, and 2 clicks, I found the cave. And I've been the only one up until 3 days ago that has known where the cave is other than Greg. So the next morning, I went down to the cave, and it's not far from where I live. I'm a Canadian that found myself here in Portugal in the smack dab center of all 3 locations, which are like a triangle, and it is all coordinates. And I'm right smack dab in the middle. You know, what are the odds? So anyways, I went to the cave and discovered that it was just as Greg had left it. It was in pristine shape. So I picked up the Persian rugs that were there, his old sandals. They were hardened over the years of rainwater and the ocean spraying against this cave and the winds and the sun. So, but what was interesting was those sandals, they were, everything was kind of put into the cave, some wood and stuff. And so as I was pulling it out, I found these sandals, and the bottom one was face up, and there was a piece of like paper towel that had been rolled up and then flattened, and it was hard and crusty and worn from years and years. You couldn't even bend it. It was like hard. You could tap it on something. And so then there was another sandal on top, and it was sandwiched in between. And I thought, well, this is weird. I couldn't even open it. It was so hard and crusty. So I thought, well, I'll just throw it in the garbage bag here. And loading up this garbage bag, putting it on the shoulder and taking it up the hill. And I had hired a young guy that was staying here at our retreat center, and he was able to be my muscle along with my husband. And the 3 of us hauled everything up. And so I wanted to make a museum out of all this stuff, because I think that this is going to be really important part of the story of Greg Hallett and the king. So, and also it was spirit driven and given. I mean, every step of the way was, Carrie, do this, Carrie, do that. And I followed, I listened. So long story short, about a week ago now, my husband had to leave back for England, and I ended up staying here. I knew that I had to stay, and you know, we kind of argued about it a little bit, and so I stayed. And that morning I heard Dave Mahoney's going to come here, and he's going to do a video on the cave. You have to get a hold of him. And then I had a flash that he was actually staying next door with his cameraman, the other Dave, and with Lee. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So I wrote Dave Mahoney and said, hey, you don't know me, but I'm a psychic. I just had a flash that you're going to stay in my villa right next door. And I've also been the only person that has known where the cave is. I can give you the coordinates if you like. And he was like, yeah, that would be great. And so we had really good text back and forth. It was awesome. And he was saying that, well, it's funny because we are planning to come out there. And I said, I know it's coming very soon. Like I'm talking, you know, this weekend in 3 days. And he said, well, we were thinking a couple of weeks. And I said, no, it's in 3 days. I can feel it. And then he wrote back and he goes, funny enough, our schedule's opened up. We'll be there in 3 days. So everything, you know, perfect divine order. So they show up. We had a great time. I showed them beautiful restaurants here, and then I brought them to the cave. And that was pretty exciting for them to see it, and the king, you know, carved in the soil, in the wall, right? The sandstone wall is so beautiful. So anyways, they were digging for something, and I said, what are you digging for? And Dave said, Greg told me that there's something hidden here. And I went, oh, I knew it. I knew there was something hidden here. And he said, well, I said, what is it that you're looking for? And he wouldn't answer me. And I asked him again, he wouldn't answer me. Third time I asked, well, Dave, what is it? He goes, it's a bottle, but it's got something in it. And I was like, that's interesting, because I had bought a metal detector knowing that there was something hidden there. So as I was asking him, I kept getting a flash of that paper towel, that thing that looked like an old piece of garbage. And I thought, is that what they're looking for? Well, I'll wait until I get home. So I got home, and I got home early, and I looked at that thing and I thought, how am I going to open it? I'm going to be like a detective, you know, opening up mail. So I steamed it, and it opened up beautifully. And what I found was incredible. So what they've been looking for, it turns out I had all along. And you'll have to watch their show to find out what it is, because it's pretty incredible. So we'll talk to you soon, and I can hardly wait to tell you the rest of this story. Bye, everyone. Love you.